Men try to divide and conquer everybody. This is kind of why they like to separate older women from younger women, and also why they like to separate S workers from vanilla women, mostly because we will tell women who men are. And it's up to regular women, right, that aren't in S work to decide if they want to listen. Most will not, because they have been told by men to not trust hoes. Like I said, Mary Magdalene, Cleopatra, yada yada yada. S workers will tell regular women that they are being paid to exist, right? I made a video about this before, but I kind of want to talk about it again, because it's kind of how when you work at a regular job and they tell you to not like talk with coworkers about pay. I'm told that some places are different, right? It's like some sort of etiquette, right, in workplaces where you don't talk about your salary with anyone. Do the same thing with women, okay? They're like, don't talk to her, she doesn't know shit. Don't talk to her, she doesn't know shit. So all of a sudden you find yourself isolated in the world and only surrounded by men, right? And now you're wondering, well, who the fuck do I turn to? Do I turn to men? Absolutely not. Men do this to isolate and corner women. S workers can really break this reality right the fuck open, because if we continue to share our message online about who men are, vanilla women will understand the game, okay? Because it's always been a fucking game. I found out that it was a game when I was 22 years old, okay? My whole reality shifted. My whole entire reality shifted, because even when I went into S work, I was already kind of like, oh, fuck marriage, because, you know, divorced parents left and right? Something that normal vanilla women can learn from S workers is that you are being fucking scammed, all right? Because S workers are literally being paid to exist. There's a spectrum of what S workers do. There's a spectrum of what S workers are being paid. It is not for everybody. I'm not telling women to get into S work. I'm simply saying this to let women know and understand that you are being scammed with love. So instead of men paying you with money, right? Men are paying you with words and lies, okay? They're gonna tell you, I love you, I care about you, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna get this ring for you, we're gonna go on this vacation, I'm gonna get this bag for you, and not actually showing you any of the fucking shit they're talking about, right? Not only that, but there's this phrase that men use that a man only has his word and his balls, right? A man doesn't even have his word, okay? All they do is lie. All of them just lie. I'm not sharing any of this information to be like, oh, well, like, you shouldn't be a vanilla girl, you should get into S work. No, you should leave men alone in general. I don't think either game should be played by women. I would rather see women focus on themselves, focus on their own dreams, and leave men the fuck behind, okay? If more women realize that men are paying women for absolute nonsense, men are paying women if women just tell them to pay them, okay? Men have women being paid on like a subscription almost. Men are paying women that ignore them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then, you know, someone's gonna be like, but I don't want payment, I want love. Love isn't real, okay? It was created by men who didn't have money, and they had to lie to you and sell you a dream about love so that you would be with them in their beds for free, all right? Because men treat all women as workers, okay? All women, especially wives, especially girlfriends. If you don't believe me and you're in a relationship right now, don't have schmecks with your man for a month or two and let me know how much he loves you unconditionally. He doesn't, okay? It's a different type of transaction, but it's always a transaction. It's never been about love. It's almost as if they are using monopoly money to get into your pants. Let me explain it that way. They say, I love you, get into your pants. They say they will treat you right and that you should forgive them, they get into your pants. But as soon as you take the access away from getting into your pants, they can't pay you. Why? Because you have closed up shop. Okay? And I think a lot more women will close up shop once they realize that all men treat all women as S workers. It just depends on the spectrum, okay? It depends on how much money they have, how much time they have, how much patience they have, what they're chasing in life, what they're not chasing in life. They're all a tiny bit different, but it's all for the same fucking goal, okay? It is for conquering. This is also why they like to divide vanilla women and S workers away from each other, right? So that you don't find the answers. Again, same thing as Mary Magdalene, right? If you went searching for the answers of the truth about her, you would find that she wasn't just some whore next to Jesus, right? And this isn't even about Christianity, it's just the facts that men rewrite history, okay? Men lie about the truth so that you don't go and find it yourself. Yeah, and I think that should make all women mad, because you weren't really given the option to know all the options. You were told, this is the path you're supposed to take, go this way, when in reality there was a whole different path they were keeping from you. Okay, so I'm just here to share wisdom. And the more upset that these men get in my comments, just know it's because I'm speaking the truth. It's almost like a witch trial, right? They're like, burn the witch, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's why they come in here the way that they come in here. Okay? That's why they come to all women's pages that are talking about these things. Because they don't want all women to know.